Hey YouTube, this is Brad in Fort Worth, Texas. Want to do a video on the Infinity 2011. This model of Infinity is the G2 Corsa, and some of y'all, I did post a video a couple days ago, and I ended up deleting that because the lighting was bad. So I kind of wanted to get into a better lighting area, and you may see a German Shepherd running around here that's a crazy ass dog. So she may jump in on this too. So this is the Infinity, first Infinity I've ever owned, and I actually ordered a different model about a month after this one. So I think next month I should have another Infinity coming in. This is the Infinity G2 Corsa, no optic as far as red dot goes. For whatever reason, this model did not offer it, which was okay with me. I was kind of looking for something, since everything else I have is a red dot, just something that's more of your traditional stock sights. So this is a 40 caliber, and the Infinity that's coming next month, that'll be a 9. And now I'm just trying to find one in a 45. So hopefully I can get that over the next couple of months. The designs they just dropped, I wasn't, I mean, they all look great, don't get me wrong. I just wasn't a fan of the most recent drop that they put out. So, but the 9mm coming next month's pretty sweet looking gun too. But for now, here's what the Infinity looks like. The gun is super, and I wouldn't say super, it's heavier than a lot of my other ones, which is great. Especially for a 40 cal to keep recoil, extremely manageable. The weight is great. The grips, when I picked this up at the range, all the people, they were kind of asked, man, do you like those grips? And no one else really did, except for me. They're extremely tacky and aggressive. Now, um, I have rough hands. I work outside in the landscaping industry, so I like something really, really aggressive. That's kind of why I like the Atlas so much. I thought that the texture is really good. This is by far the most tacky grip that I've ever put my hands on. Um, I wouldn't. It's not sharp, but when you try to move your hand up or down, it really grips your hand, which is awesome. Um, yeah, I'm a big fan of that, and it seems like I probably am in the minority with this kind of texture of grip, because it seems like probably if you have softer hands, or you're, just not working outside or working with tools and machines, this grip probably would not feel that great. It would probably be a little bit too aggressive. But for me, it's perfect. Huge fan of that. I don't know. I'd love to be able to put these on all my guns. And but yeah, man, it's pretty cool. I really like that. It's pretty sweet. Gun looks really awesome too. The detail, the line, everything is so perfect. The tolerances are extremely tight. So I was expecting, kind of whenever I got this firearm, that the slide would kind of be almost like the Atlas or Staccato or the Terran Tactical. Super, where those slides are just so easy to rack. Now, and granted, I've only got a couple hundred rounds through this gun so far. Accuracy is amazing. Recoil is extremely minimal because of the weight. Now, it's still a 40 caliber, which to me, the 40 caliber always seemed a little snappy. Um, But yeah, it's man, it's a very nice gun, and the detail, just how everything is so perfect. The lines, everything on it are so perfect. But yeah, she's it's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work. And I've seen some reviews out there, or some people that were kind of waiting on their Infinities, and they're like one of a kind, one of one basically. I even saw this model. Somebody was selling the G2 Corsa, and they were saying basically it's one of one, the only gun that was made. It's not true. So after talking to the Infinity people, uh, you know, numerous times, just to kind of build a relationship with them, the chances of you getting a gun, like basically when they do their drops and a pistol becomes available, and I don't know if anyone out there has been trying to basically click that shopping cart button as soon as it comes out. Well, actually, you're never going to get one of the Infinities that way. You really need a reservation. And, the person I deal with over there, she's awesome. Great. The customer service is better than anything I've ever experienced. Better than Atlas, better than I mean, not just better, but they're light years ahead as far as their customer service goes. Which, when you pay $9,000, which I think this was around that range, 9,000 time it's all said and done. Um, you should get the best customer service. It's one of the best pistols probably on the market. So yeah, Infinity's been really good to me. I can't say enough about the customer service. And but if you want to get one of these, I'm not a competition shooter, so I have no ties or no ends with anyone. Um, you have to get a reservation, and however you do that, it's just going to take time, man. Like, you just have to be patient, talk to them, talk to the Infinity people, just stay in contact with them, and and eventually they'll reserve a gun for you. Just don't act like a dickhead, and uh, just be cool. The wait time, whenever I initially got this, I know the email, whenever I paid, it said around 120 days. It was more than double that. It was closer to 10 months was the wait time, which is fine. It just kind of sucks when places tell you, 180 days or something like that, and it ends up being twice as much. It seems like some of the other gun maker, like Atlas and them, like they're getting very good about shooting high on the kind of like, hey, it'll take 6 to 8 months, and then before you know it, 3 months later, they're giving you a call saying your gun is ready, which is good customer service tactic. I wish Infinity probably would do that too. Just say, hey, it's going to be 12 months, and if you get it before 12 months, then hey, it's a win. But yeah, when it's saying you're going to wait 4 months and then you wait 10 months, that kind of sucks. Sight tracker barrel, not ported or anything like that. This, even after putting a couple hundred rounds, when I first got the gun, man, the slide was super tight. It reminded me of the Limcat, or even the Nighthawk or Wilson Combat. Like, they're just a little tight. They're not super smooth like an Atlas. But even after a couple hundred rounds, it's actually getting looser. So probably when I get to 1,000, it'll probably be pretty smooth. Red curved trigger. You can. There's a little bit of customization that you can do. It's pretty minimal though. It's kind of like, hey, the gun is what it is. Um, Trigger pull weight, which I don't know if some of y'all saw the other video. So the trigger pull weight's coming in at 1.8. That's as high as I've seen it so far. I've hit several at 1.3, 1.2, 1.4, 1.5, but nothing's ever gone over 1.8 pounds of trigger pull. Or maybe trigger pressure is probably the better term, but it's the lightest trigger I have felt. Way lighter than an Atlas. It's closer to the Limcat or the Terran Tactical, the Sand Viper, as far as the weight goes. Let me see if we can do. I don't have my gauge on me, but I promise you it was 1.8 was the highest trigger pull rating I could get. So you can see there's some take up there. Hopefully I can see this shit. And let's see, let's do the reset. The reset, I will say, is fucking awesome. It's nothing. Like, I mean, it's an amazing reset. I will say that. It's sweet. I'm a big fan of the trigger, big fan of the grips. Let's see. Yeah, there's, the grip safety. It's pinned, which is awesome. I don't know why the competition, like the Sand Viper. There's another one. I can't remember if the BDS-9, the Nighthawk, had the grip safety. I don't have that anymore. I got rid of it. I just don't have a use for the Nighthawk anymore. Nothing wrong with Nighthawk. Nighthawk's a great gun, great manufacturer, but they're just, I don't like, the reason why I don't like the Nighthawk is because of the trigger pull weight, and you cannot get them to adjust that or customize that a little bit. So that's kind of what, I just kind of ran out of uses for the Nighthawk. Just me personally. Like I said, they're great guns. They make wonderful guns. They're very nice. But there's just others out there that, for me, are better. You can customize your serial number, which is nice with the Infinity. You can pick your own serial number as long as it's not taken from a previous build. Kind of checkering of the slide stop, checkering of the mag release. This is kind of your typical 1911, this style grid kind of pattern. I don't know, it seems pretty normal. I do like how it's kind of blended. A lot of places, they stop that kind of the design or the grid, the tackiness, kind of even with the magwell. This, hopefully it kind of comes out. It's actually kind of a U, upside down U. It's just the detail. Like the Infinity, from what I've seen, at least on this gun, it's the detail is what you're paying for. Do I think this gun is any better than an Atlas or even the Staccato XC? No, I don't think so. I mean, they're all accurate as all get out. It's really, it's the design, it's the look, because you're not going to find other gun makers that are doing stuff like this as far as the detail and just how badass it looked. So, oh, and you may notice this, I don't know, it's kind of this thing right here. So basically, that's their. It's kind of a. Um, it's not a thumb rest. It's I don't know. It just protects your thumb from the slide, which is cool because then you can ride the safety. I thought that was a pretty good idea. You know, a lot of a lot of places you'll see, you know, and you could probably do the thumb where it's basically a panel on there, like the limb cat. I was really happy with the way this turned out. That's a really good idea, actually. It doesn't have anything sticking out, and yeah, it totally protects your thumb. I mean, it's pretty. I like how they did that. It's a good idea. I haven't seen that on other guns. Serrations are perfect. I mean, it's you know, there's probably nothing I would do. Well, I would love to have a ported barrel or something like that. I've reached out to several places about porting. Nobody wants to touch the Infinity. They'll do some porting on Glocks and stuff like that, but as far as this gun, no one really wants to mess with it. After 200 rounds, could have been ammo, maybe just the magazine being new. I did have 4 failures to feed. Uh, I think it was 3 or 4. I think it was 4. But yeah, I was kind of surprised by that. You know, it's factory ammo, which the Infinity people said you can run any kind of ammo through it. Factory ammo is fine. But for whatever reason, yeah, it's, you know, and a lot of times where it kind of gets stuck at a 45-degree angle, like it's going to feed up the ramp, but then it just kind of gets stuck or caught there, and you have to rack the slide to pop the cartridge out. But this didn't do any of that. It actually stayed. The bullet stayed in the magazine, or the cartridge stayed in the magazine. Um, it never fed up the ramp or got stuck kind of at that 45-degree angle. It just stayed there. So you know when you rack it again, it feeds. But for whatever reason, 4 times that didn't happen, which is kind of disappointing because I didn't have that happen with any other kind of high-end 2011 that I've purchased. Um, which fuck, I don't even think I ever had that happen with a Glock either. So hopefully y'all can kind of hear this. The slide is smooth. Don't get me wrong. I mean it's nice and it's loosened up a lot just by fucking with the gun, doing this shit over and over and over. It's becoming lighter, so I know whenever I get to 1,000 rounds, it should be pretty smooth. But right out of the box, it is fairly tight. And another thing I kind of found out after talking like with Hayes Customs and Atlas and some of those people, if you want that slide that's like buttery smooth right out of the box, it's the DLC is kind of the key. Of course, the tolerances and how their recoil springs, all those things kind of played into it. But all the manufacturers, everyone that I've talked to, they all say the DLC coating is going to give you the smoothest racking of the slide, if that's important to you. It's important to me. I like having a slide that's just super smooth. Atlas was the best, I thought. Staccato XC, especially after like 1,000 rounds, the Staccato XC was just as smooth as the Atlas. And whenever I sent the Staccato off to get metal, I'm going to do some steel grips on the Staccato, get rid of the kind of sandpapery feel, do a steel grip, and kind of gold out some of the components on it. Hopefully I'll get that back this week or next week. I'll do a video on that and kind of recommend the company here around the Fort Worth area that's doing stuff like that. But it should look pretty sweet. It's definitely going to be unique for sure. But as far as kind of Infinity goes, here it is. Yeah, it's very nice, man. Even here, like on the frame, you know, like a lot of the guns, they'll just keep it flat all the way. Infinity, they bevel on both sides, kind of give you that 45-degree angle here, plus on the top with the 45 before it goes up to flat. Um, Hammer is pretty sweet. I do like that. How um, whenever the gun is not cocked, the trigger, it's not flush with the frame, but pretty damn close. There's a little bit of a track. I think it's tracks or something is the name of this kind of hammer. And I don't know, maybe Infinity does that with all of them. But that is pretty cool. I do like that. How when you know, you're not in basically ready mode, that trigger sits flush with the slide, almost flush, I should say. Not sharp. It's rounded, which is nice. Trying to think, what else? What else? What else? Slide stop. This fits so flush with the frame. I mean, it's crazy flush. How I do love this a lot. I don't like it when some they bevel it or they'll kind of make it where it's a little bit of a nipple or raised. I understand to find your finger, you know, to push the slide stop out a little easier. This is probably a tiny bit more difficult. You know, I use a tool for everything, so it's not a problem for me. But I do like it, it's just the attention to detail, and this is probably something I haven't seen even with the Atlas or any of the other ones, is that the tolerances are so tight, the detail is crazy, uh, just crazy impressive. It's just nice. I don't know what else to say. It's really nice. So hope y'all enjoyed. Oh yeah, here I can do, just so you can kind of hear the slide. So that's the Infinity. Just so you can hear the slide, this is the Terran Sand Viper. So the slide on this, I mean, it takes hardly any pressure. Like, now, of course, I have thousands of rounds through this. I don't think I've hit 5,000 yet. I'm probably closer to 20, about half of that, 2,000 to 2,500, somewhere around there. But you can kind of hear this slide too. This slide is super soft. Takes hardly any effort to rack. But you know, probably, of course, shooting the gun a lot more, and plus a recoil spring is probably a lot lighter. So, yeah, just a little bit of differences between those two. Um, the Atlas Artemis, I wish I had the Atlas. I ended up selling the Atlas Artemis and ordered the ported Apollo, the PVB. I really like that. Look, the Artemis, Atlas makes amazing guns. I mean, they're fucking awesome. Better than Infinity? I don't know. Probably not. The tolerances are a little looser on the Atlas, but still, the Atlas I think is the best production gun that you can get. I mean, I would say Atlas is a production gun for as many as they're making. The customization's fairly minimal. And I would still say Staccato XC is still an amazing, for that price point of $4,500 for the XC is probably the best value, I think. To me, the Staccato XC is awesome, especially $4,500. I mean, these guns are twice as much as those, so you know, these will hold their resale value probably better than the Staccato XC, maybe. But the Staccato XC to me is still, if you have a Staccato XC, because I watch a lot of videos too on YouTube, and I always see, you know, when someone's doing a video, they're like, is this the best 2011? Staccato, you know, Bull Armory is better Staccato. I mean, they're all, you know, roughly the same as far as how they, you know, how the slide feels and all that kind of stuff, and being smooth and the trigger pull. I would say what you're paying for once you get to over that $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9,000 range, you're paying for obviously the name, and if guns have been in movies and shit like that, but you're paying for the look. You know, the triggers are all, there's not enough difference in all the guns to me. With the trigger, it's about the look of the gun and then the grip. Infinity by far best grips for at least my hands. Then I would say Atlas, at least for me. I don't know what kind of grip is on the Sand Viper. I mean, it's okay. If your hands though are sweaty and oily, it is kind of a pain in the ass. Limcat's probably the worst grips, I would say. Like by far the worst. Fucking terrible, actually, for an $8,000 gun to get some shitty grips like that. You know, which they make those guns, I think, in Vegas, the Limcat. So, you know, they're really dry environment there. So they don't, their grips probably feel fine for them. It's when you get here, or, you know, Florida, anywhere in the South, along the coast, or just anywhere where it's a more humid environment, the Limcat grips are terrible. Infinity's awesome. Atlas is awesome. I'd say everything else is basically the same. At least in my opinion, as far as how they feel. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. And if you're watching this for the second time, sorry I deleted the first one. It was the lighting was too shitty, and so I wanted to, at least if I'm going to do a review on the Infinity, I kind of want to give it its props and not have it done in a dark room. So trying to think, what else? Oh, probably what I will do, and I wish I would have done this, is like Infinity, they'll offer, you can do like checkering on the frame. I wish I would have done that, at least for, I wasn't even thinking, I should know better by now. So whenever you put your gun, or excuse me, your hand, I'm right-handed, well here, I'll just do it left-handed, like if I was a left-handed shooter. So whenever you wrap your support hand around, it's real smooth. I mean, it's super smooth. I wish I would have had them done the checkering, at least on the left side. They did it with the 9mm that I'm getting, that's coming next month. So you'll see that one with checkering and one without. This doesn't have any checkering. I'm sure I'll end up putting like some grip tape, basically a skateboard tape you put on skateboards, and just cut a thin, you know, kind of small clear piece of grip tape to put on there, just because I do like to have some more texture when my thumb is wrapped around. Yeah, that's the only thing I wish I would have done differently, was have them texture or have them checker right here. And I think that is a good idea that they offer that at the time, I really wasn't aware of what that was, and I didn't ask. But then after the fact, I found out. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend checkering the frame. You can do it on both sides, or just the left side, or just the right side if you're a lefty. But yeah, so I'm sure I will put some tape on there, and I'm sure when people see it at the ring, they're like, I can't believe you put fucking tape on there. And it's like, yeah, well, it's only fucking tape. So I figured I'd do this video before I put some shit on there. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Definitely can't say enough about the Infinity. Super, super cool looking. The attention to detail is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to get the 9mm. The 9 will have that's going to be optic ready with a, I don't know if I did some sort of Trijicon, if I did the RMR or the SRO, I don't remember. I tried to get them to do, if they put an aim point optic on there, but it was kind of too far late in the process. Oh, one thing I fucking hate, I will say that, I do fucking hate this. And Nighthawk does this too. And I think even the Sand Viper. Yeah, so even the Sand Viper's kind of the same. It's the guide rod. It's the same kind of guide rod like Atlas, and I think even the Staccato has it where basically you don't need any kind of tool or anything to remove the guide rod or to disassemble the gun so you can clean it. The Atlas, they kind of have it's a little bit of a kind of a nipple or something on the guide rod that you push down, and a little lever kind of comes up so it catches on the bushing. I love that. I think that's the fucking best idea that anybody could have come up with. Infinity did not do that. I don't know if some of their other guns are like that, but it's basically just like a Nighthawk or the Sand Viper, is that you have to put like a little paper clip, or I use a paper clip because I can't ever find the little piece of metal, kind of L-shaped piece of metal that you put in the hole, and kind of let that slide back to where it catches on the bushing and relieves all the tension on the guide rod so you can take it out. This Infinity is kind of the thing where you have to put the deal. I fucking hate that shit. I really, really do. I don't know why they can't all do just like Atlas and have a toolless guide rod. And maybe I'm sure the guide rod that's more solid like this, that doesn't have something that can kind of move up and down like a little lever built in, is maybe more durable. I don't know, but man, it's a real pain in the ass, especially if you don't have a paper clip or something that you can put in that hole. Now that's pretty nitpicky, I understand, but I just wanted to at least let everybody know that. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but for whatever reason it does. I think it's just a convenience thing, is that not all the time do you have that little fucking thing, and I end up having to dig around or go ask someone for a paper clip so I can basically break it in order to disassemble. Outside of that, I have no complaints. And I wish I had a scale, or a scale big enough where I could weigh this. I mean, it's so much heavier than the Terran Tactical. It's heavier than the Atlas and Staccato. It's the heaviest gun that I've had, which is great. I love that, especially doing a non-ported, non-comped. You definitely want some weight. And again, this is a 40 caliber. I do the same thing with a 45. 9mm, probably not so much. But some of the snappier rounds, it's kind of nice having that weight. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and whenever I get the other Infinity in, I'll do something on that too. So stay safe, and if you can get an Infinity, get an Infinity. It's extremely difficult to do. If you can't get an Infinity, to me the next best gun on par with Infinity is Atlas. I see a lot of things on the platypus, and I don't know. There's so many gun makers out there now that, and probably in a couple years there'll be 10 times more. But what's up, buddy? But definitely, Atlas and Infinity to me are on a whole nother level. The Sand Viper Terran Tactical, this gun is so fun to shoot. I will say that. But the tolerances are not as tight. Kind of, you probably can't see because of the oil, but even after like 100 rounds, there was already kind of wear where you can see the silver, kind of where that compensator meets the barrel. I don't know, you probably can't see that, but that was just after a couple 100 rounds. Of course, the slide inside, from rapid firing, just the gun getting hot, it changes color. Not from the outside, it's only kind of under the slide or on the back. So when you disassemble the gun, you can kind of see the changing color of the metal, just because when it gets hot, it starts a kind of rainbowing effect. But I will say this gun is super fun to shoot. Recoils nothing, and it's turned out to be kind of one of my favorites. But yeah, G2 Corsa Infinity SVI, and thanks again to all those people over there that helped me. I'm not going to say any names or anything, because if you want the gun, you're going to have to work for it. And if it means that much to you, it's not like Infinities are not obtainable. You can get it, but if you're trying to just go online, and whenever they drop it at 9 o'clock Central Time, you can't hit the cart, to buy button fast enough. The guns are already sold out. They're already gone. So if you really want one, you're just gonna have to just work it. Just keep working it. Be nice. Be interested, and if it means that much to you, you'll eventually get one, but you just need to get on that list. And the cool thing is once you're on that list, you can fucking buy as many Infinities as you want. And it's just a trust thing. Another thing is, it's not like covert projects. I use them for Atlas and the Hayes Customs, some other guns too. I can't remember. Oh, I think I got that Wilson Combat from them too. But if their gun's not in stock, you're paying $1,000 deposit or whatever it is. Infinity's not like that. You basically have 30 minutes to pay the deposit, which is half. So you're dropping $4,500 within 30 minutes. If you don't pay within 30 minutes, the gun goes to someone else. So they don't dick around over there at Infinity. They want serious people, so if you're serious, you can definitely get it. You just need to talk to them, and show appreciation for the art of what those people are putting into these guns. So I see a lot of things on there, people getting frustrated, and it is frustrating, but you just have to go about Infinity a little different. They're a different maker. It's not like the Atlases and any other Staccato, all those other companies. They're just different. It's special, and sometimes you have to put in a little bit more work to get something that's extremely unique, and it's not being mass produced. So another thing is, if you see guns out there where people are saying, well, this is one of one, it's not true. They're making anywhere between 10 and 20 of each particular model of Infinity. So sometimes you will see people on there. I've even seen it, even with this particular gun, where they're like, it's the only one made. You know, you're getting something, the most unique gun because the only one. No, it's not true. They're making several guns. They're making more than several. They're making between 10 and 20 of each model, no matter what model it is. So, um, uh, I think that's about all I can say, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. The case that they give you is fucking sweet. Super nice case. And you know, they give you oil, and which I may have taken some of this shit out. So the oil's in there. And also, yeah, if you get, you can do, so basically whenever on the Infinities, I get a shooter package. And basically what they do is they send you tons of springs, extractors, firing pins, springs. I think there's even like disconnectors and things for the trigger. You pay $500 for it, but I knew that I was keeping the Infinity no matter what. Even if I didn't necessarily like the Infinity, I was going to keep it at least for a little while. So I always ordered the shooter package. So I should say, yeah, 9,000. You could get this gun for 8,500 if you didn't get kind of some of the extra stuff. But it is cool that they offer that, and they, like I said, they give you a ton of springs, firing pins, all kinds of shit. So whenever you're kind of at that 5,000 or 10,000 round mark, you can start replacing things. Don't have to go on the hunt for springs or anything like that, since sometimes things are out of stock. But yeah, that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed it. When I get the other Infinity, I'll upload a video, and that's all, folks.